What you're about to see is an embodied coaching session. These are completely spontaneous, so they're done live. Usually we just ask for volunteers, either at a live event we're doing or on a Zoom call, so just pull someone out of the crowd basically and do it there and then. If you want to learn to be an embodied coach, we've been training embodiment coaches for some years. Certificate of Embodiment Coaching is our main training, starts every February, link below. If you want coaching from me one-on-one that won't be on the internet, then of course get in touch as well, either through the website, embodimentunlimited.com, or through my Instagram, not through YouTube. Best ways to get in touch. So yeah, I think they're the main things. Oh, and if you want to be in one of these, we regularly do these free sessions. So if you want to be in one of these free online sessions to learn about embodiment coaching or to get coached yourself for free, again, link below.
Hello there.
Hello.
First of all, can I just check, is your name Swana?
Yes, perfect.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you in the world?
I'm in Germany at the moment, but from Finland originally.
Terve. Is it terve or terra? Which do I say in Finnish?
Terve.
Terve. Finnish is not the easiest language, is it?
No.
Not the easiest language. Beautiful country. I like it very much. Very unusual, but beautiful country.
Totally.
Where have you ended up in Germany?
In Kassel. It's like, let's say, 1.5 hours from Frankfurt.
Okay, I'm in Cologne in a few weeks from now, so not a million miles away.
Oh, nice. You're doing a workshop.
Yeah, quick workshop. So this is just a little bit of coaching. Obviously, it's not totally private because it's on, it's going to be shared. It's public actually.
Right.
But you're still in charge. So if there's something that doesn't feel good for you, don't worry. We could always delete the recording if it was something. Just bear in mind that with what you share, that it's public. Have we had any contact before? Have you come across embodiment? Where are you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching your videos a little bit. I'm actually I do somatics myself a little bit. So I do know some stuff. And yeah, I used to dance professionally. So I also worked with the body a lot previously.
Oh, that should speed this all up, man. This is great. That's good to hear. All right. So what made you jump on this? Did you think you've got a particular issue to look at, something you want?
Yeah, I am still I feel like I'm holding some fear from this emotional burnout that I had in the summer of 2022.
Yeah.
And I had like this nervous system dysregulation. I had like my nervous system wasn't able to regulate my heartbeat. So I had like a lot of very fast heartbeat when I was standing up. I wasn't able to wash my hair and stuff. And I feel like I've worked on it a lot already to kind of come back to the normal life. But I feel like I still hold a lot of fear in this area of my body. And I would love to release it a little bit more.
Yeah. So the first thing I noticed as you were saying, I just found myself getting very sad. Like personally, I noticed that. Like it could be my stuff, could be I'm picking up on something from you. Like any thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think there was a lot of sadness related to that event anyway. I felt like it took a lot of the things that were normal for me previously, like being able to move and use my body to express
Answer before as well, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I haven't been to a dance class now in 2 years. So I think maybe you're picking up on that I feel like my life is not as expressive as it used to be.
Yeah, and you keep touching your chest there, which is fine if you're happy to go there. I mean, obviously, if you're comfortable to, it might be a place where we can kind of tune in as we talk. And if it feels too much at any point, just take the hand off. Stand up, dance to Wham, whatever you want to do. Okay, it's all good. So giving yourself that little bit of love, because I'm noticing there's that sadness and grief in like, hey, I used to be this dancer, this person that jumped around and did so much movement. And then I've had burnout. I know what it's like. It's really rough, isn't it? So I just want to acknowledge that before we try and do anything else. Like that self-kindness is often the basis of any coaching. Maybe if it feels okay in this context to close your eyes and tune into that feeling inside underneath the hand. Seems like you're doing some little soothing movements there, which I just encourage if they feel helpful. Maybe taking a couple of breaths into that area so that part of the chest moves as you acknowledge that sadness. What's that? What's something you might like to tell yourself, or that even that your body's telling you? Could be either way.
I think I'd like to tell myself that it's okay.
Hmm.
And it's okay that it's taken time.
Yeah. One more thing.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like there's a block there. Like
Okay.
so
And you
far,
smile.
then like the information stops somehow.
Yeah. So look at me, take your hand away. What color are my eyes?
Blue, I think.
Excellent. My mum says they're lovely. So one tiny dot of brown in them, if you look carefully. So I just don't want to take you too deep, just in the context of a sort of public coaching session. Just to look after you. Do you know what I mean? All right. So there's something there, like really acknowledging sadness, and that these things can take time. Like burnout, I know, can take so long. The body has its own time. It can be really frustrating. Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a bit of a block there. So yeah, my instinct is not to do in this context some release work around that. That might be a thing we can do, but not in this context. I would think it could be a little bit too personal, a little bit too emotional, and I feel like I don't want to expose you to that on the internet, kind of thing. It doesn't feel okay, just ethically. So I'm not going to do the release work here and now, but it sounds like you could probably do that yourself, actually, given your level of skill that I think you have.
Yeah.
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 What else on this topic? Like, what would be helpful in the situation we're in?
I think like to look at more like or to touch on the courage piece
Mm,
of this because I know like I feel like I'm being directed by fear.
yeah.
What's on the other side of that fear?
Okay, which side is the fear? You just did it with your hand. Which side
Uh,
is the
I
fear?
feel like this is the fear and
Okay.
courage is here.
Okay, so let's go the other side. So,
Yeah.
and what's a courageous posture? What would be like the what's your main cultural background? Is it Finnish? Is it Indian? What do you most relate to culturally?
Finish.
Finnish. So what would be like the sort of Finnish archetype of that? Maybe one of those badass World War II Finnish warriors or something else, or
Oh my
what would be...
goodness. I don't think we have that, to be
We don't
honest.
have that in Finland. Oh, you should look up the Winter Wall. There's definitely that in
Oh
Finland.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, but what would be that pose of that brave, courageous pose? So the hands have come up.
Yeah.
You were talking about not expressing yourself earlier, and you used to be expressive, right? And this is a very expressive pose.
Mhm.
Can you reach into it a little bit more? It looks to me like you're sort of half doing it, half not doing it. Don't be English about it. Don't be apologetic. You know, do really make that noise. Expressive. Yeah, it's lovely to see you smile. So something brave, something expressive.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
It feels very expansive, at the
Uh-huh.
same time a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, we got to wear it in, right? You need to practice that one. So you're not even thinking about the fear now, are you? You've forgotten where that is. We could have focused on that, but as a coach, I don't focus usually on that. I just go, let's go elsewhere. Woo! Okay, I won't keep you there too long because I don't want you to, burn out from it or stress from it. But that could be a little thing you could practice, just having a courageous pose. And, when you're feeling like you've got energy, you don't have to exhaust yourself. And if it's a little bit uncomfortable, that's fine. Okay. If it feels overwhelming or it's going to exhaust you or burn you out, then obviously we don't want that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that something you could take away and just use as a little practice?
Definitely. Definitely. And I'm definitely gonna reflect on the block. I feel there's something there that, and I feel it's good that we touched upon it.
Yes.
So it had a bit more awareness also on my side.
Yeah, what I'd say there is lots of self-kindness. Yeah, before you go there, make sure you've got space. Public is not the place for it. In this, we're essentially in a public place right now because part of your body knows that you're on the internet right now, right? And this is kind of a private thing that requires that like safety and space and time, and we're a bit rushed today. So my instinct was just as a coach was like, okay, touch it, you know where it is, do a bunch of self-care. You could do a metta meditation, METTA, if you can find that on the internet. It's pretty easy to find, like Sharon Salzberg or someone. You could do that touching the chest with that sort of soothing kind of little gesture that you found for yourself there, and that could be very helpful. And then starting to dialogue with that part of you. Yeah, so just tuning in and actually listening carefully with kind of with the energy that, like, imagine there was a cat under a car and you wanted the cat to come out to stroke it. You can't like grab it, but you can sort of be encouraging and, you know, kind and a listening openness. How does that sound as something to sort of experiment with privately?
Yeah, it sounds really good. It sounds like exactly the right way to go about it with me. Yeah.
Yeah, and you seem pretty resourced and pretty skilled. So, you know, some people might need a lot more professional help with that, but my sense is, my instinct is you'll be okay with it. So as long as, you know, you give it space, and it might bring stuff up, so make sure you're not doing it in the car or anything like that. But
right.
it's good. It's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Questions?
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Are you welcome? Anything we need to be complete or anything else?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Right, cool. Is it all right if I just talk about you for a couple of minutes and the session we just did, so for listeners can kind of learn from it? Is that right?
Of course.
Great. So Swana I haven't met before, so first thing was just kind of meet her. You know, I was asking like where's she from, and that's just a way of kind of getting a felt sense of someone and like what's the cultural piece. Like Finnish culture is quite an unusual culture, and you shouldn't, you know, make assumptions by how someone looks or whatever. So there's, you know, that was the beginning piece. And then we really dived in the deep end, and that showed me she seemed to have a lot of trust, probably from studying my, you know, following my staff, and she's already a practitioner. That was obvious. She's got skills. I was noticing her gestures, but I also noticed this overwhelming feeling of sadness in myself as a coach, and I had to do some centering then because I was like, "Whoa, this is heavy." And then I was just checked in: is this me or is this her? Because I've had a burnout, so I was thinking, "Oh, maybe it's my own stuff." You know, I had to check in. I don't want to make sure that I'm not sort of putting my stuff on her. So I actually just actually checked that out, and then we tuned into that. It seemed like kindness was a good place to go. It nearly always is. You don't often go too wrong as a coach being kind and encouraging people to be kind. And then I was just aware that like it wasn't just ethically the time and place to like she could have gone there, but I was like, you know what? Let's just resource her and point her so she can do that privately. That just felt like the smarter, more ethical move. And it was, yeah, it was interesting what we call U-curve to a session, because it was in at the deep end, and then the wrap up, the sort of coming out, was quite nice. So yeah, Svana, thank you once again for volunteering. It was a total pleasure. I hope I see you again, maybe in Cologne.
Maybe. Thank you so much.